In my previous videos, I showed you how we could get input, and sometimes we get this input with errors. And I usually ask, how can we fix this? Do you want to have a robust solution for getting inputs from user? I also got this comment to write a sensible function to handle common code. This is a common practice in programming, that we write functions to handle things that we do repeatedly. In this video, I'll show you a robust function that you can use to get input from the user. Most of the exercises that we will do, we will get input from the user. So it is wise to have a function that we can always call and get valid input from the user. Let me dive into my code editor and show you how this works. I have my file here. I've created a file here called utils.py. It's a Python program, so I call it utils.py. And let me drop a comment here and say utility functions. In the course of this series, if I have any utility function, I will put it here. Today you will see two of them. Utility functions. And the first one is to make a function in Python, we start with def. So I get an integer, get integer. And what do we have as input here? We have the instruction from the user. This should be a string, and the minimum value expected, this will be an int. The maximum value expected, and this will be an int, and the function should return an integer. We can have some documentation, very good to have. So what do we do in order to get a value? What's a value? Equals to int input, we give the instruction there. And if the user gives us something that is out of range, then we'll print this error message. If everything works well, then let us return the value. This function should work normally here, but there are a couple of things that can go wrong. If an error happens here, then the program will crash. So we'll do this in a try, exception as exception, and we print the same thing here. But if you want to know the exception, if you want to know the error that had occurred, we can also print like error occurred, and let us give the error value. But what happens here is that whenever we reach here, the program will end. So let's continue. Let's make it such that until we have a valid input, then that's the only time when we will end the program. The program only ends when we reach line 24, when line 24 is valid. This means that if the value that the user gives us, if the value is out of range, we'll print this error and it will repeat. If the value can be converted to int, that's the first thing. If the value can be converted to int and it is within range, then we will end up here at line 24. If it cannot be converted to integer, then it will end here. But the program will continually ask for input. So this is just a copy paste. We'll give you a similar function for float. In the next video, I will show you how to call this function.